The opinions and views expressed by individuals during this broadcast are their own and may not be the opinions of this network, their group, or other organization they may be involved with.
Hey, hi, my name is John Mark, aka Sublimator Warrior, and I would like to welcome you to Smoke Signal in Tyndinaga.
One dab make your whole dome drip sweat. One dab make the homies all dip set.
Smoke Signals, Tyndinaga.
Smoke Signals, Tyndinaga.
Smoke Signals, Tyndinaga.
Ooey, ooey, gooey, that's a sticky dab. Might just have to put this one on Instagram.
Smoke Signals, Tyndinaga.
Hold it in, feel it in your wrist.
Smoke Signals, Tyndinaga.
Check us out in Tyndinaga. 55 Highway 49 in Tyndinaga. It's on the res, and we're open from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. 7 days a week.
Dirty Dave, award-winning cultivator for over 4 decades. Dirty Dave, prized genetics fueled by advanced nutrients, original OG organics. Dirty Dave, award-winning products available at these fine establishments. Ask your shop to carry Dirty Dave. Contact us at dirtiesdoggies@gmail.com.
Guten Tag, everyone. Guten Tag. Good day. Buonasera. Good evening. And welcome to the 710 Sesh. I'm in Germany. I'm in Jeremiah's basement. And boy, kids, did I have a fun weekend. I'm not sure if you can hear it in my voice. I saw a lot of people I know, and I got to say hello to them. I got so many hugs and kisses, and I got to meet some new people. I had so much fun at this Canna Fair 2026. So, yes, people had problems. So, Jeremiah was telling me last night that apparently there were undercover police officers at the Canna Fair looking for people who were selling things that they shouldn't have been selling. And that there was also roadblocks set up, not right around the thing, but sort of on every major road, sort of going towards the populace, going towards Dusseldorf and stuff. On that bridge, I think if you've seen pictures of Dusseldorf and stuff, there's a big bridge, and so apparently their cops were at the end of the bridge waiting to check people, and apparently lots of people lost their driver's licenses over this Canna Fair. So, you know, even though cannabis is legal here, there are still so many issues surrounding usage. I guess is the way to say it. That you cannot be in the line of sight of a child. So even if you're in an area technically that it's okay to smoke a joint, that you're not on a transportation property, that you're not on a school property, that you're not on a sports field. So even if you're just walking down the street and a kid's on the street, technically you are not supposed to be smoking cannabis there then. So, there's this dichotomy, and I mean, I have to ask Jeremiah, about because I mean, basically, if you are a medical patient, you're allowed to smoke on train property and stuff. But Jeremiah says that it's not worth the trouble of dealing with the train security or the train police. It's easier to just wait till you get home here. And I started telling you about Rumi, that I met little Miss Rumi from Bavaria. And so I'm talking to her. I met her on Thursday night. We had so much fun. She was at my hotel, and I was asking her, so how many cannabis social clubs are there in Bavaria? And she answers me, never, never, never will there be a cannabis social club in Bavaria. Bavaria is like a completely different country. That the German Bavaria is not a cannabis place. It is not accepted, and not sure what she's living there for, but Munich is not the place to go to be a cannabis person, okay? And I got lots of paperwork, and on that note of social clubs, so I got this beautiful brochure from the Herbalist, and they are a club in the region where Dusseldorf is. And if you can read that, I really hope you can sort of read that. They have good cannabis. I mean, they got hash burger, which is 30.43% THC, 0.2% CBD. And it's from hand solo hash plant crossed with double burger. And it's a 60% indica, 40% sativa. So they have some of the strains that they are doing. They've got Detroit Runts, they got Gelonade. And so a cannabis social club is not what you would think. Okay? There's absolutely nothing social about, 7-10 people, 7-10 somewhere. And there's nothing social about a social club. Okay? So a social club could only have 500 members. And a social club is not for socializing. The only time that they can sort of socialize in the social club is if they're doing an informative seminar, an educational seminar. Okay? So basically, they're really buyers clubs. So they're clubs that are set up where people can buy cannabis, but not really to socialize. There's no hanging. Right? But this area has over 400 social clubs. So something is going on. Granny paraphernalia shop was there. So I got some granny stickers. And then, oh my gosh, this guy that I talked to for fucking hours and hours and hours and hours last year, I literally found him as we were almost leaving. Yeah, so we had a little teeny chat. I'm gonna have to contact him. But basically he makes the best cannabis pornography you can imagine. Absolutely gorgeous. So he lives in the south of Germany, and his company is in Holland. And the cannabis photography that this man does is just amazing. So it was so nice to run into him again, see his wife again. And then these people. Okay, so then there's more cannabis pornography. So this is from Serious Seeds. Okay, we got some nice pictures of cannabis, okay? And so I'm talking to the guy there about the cannabis pornography, and he laughs and he goes, well, you're right. You sort of are right. It is pornography. He goes, because really what you're looking at are a whole bunch of little cannabis vaginas. He's going, that's all. That's what a cannabis flower is, a whole bunch of cannabis vaginas. Okay? So if you kids didn't know that, just know that when you got that cannabis plant growing there, you're showing vaginas, okay? You are showing vaginas. So that was totally hilarious. Oh my God, did we laugh so fucking hard? The stork and pickle people, I mean, they've got colors now. And I talked to them about lobbying the Ontario and the Canadian government. Why don't hang on. No, okay, okay. I guess we had just a little teeny Wi-Fi. Remember, I'm by the Mosel Valley in a town of like 3,000 people. And if we have Wi-Fi, yay. If we don't, well, it's sort of like being in Mexico, okay? Yes, I've come all this way to sort of be in Mexico again. What was I saying? Oh, so I asked the stork and pickle people if they would lobby the Ontario and the Canadian government for lounges. And I say to these people, look at me. I don't want to be using a fucking vaporizer. Okay? I don't want to be vaping. I want to smoke joints, okay? But if my government was actually to say to me, you know what, Janine? We decided it would be okay if your friends wanted to hang someplace, then you could be someplace inside with a volcano smoking your cannabis. You know what? If my government offered me that, I would probably use it. Okay? And they laughed very, 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 very hard. Okay? But I was like, dude, you have an entire country that can smoke cannabis legally. Okay, we just have nowhere other than our homes to smoke it legally, really. Would you please help? Okay. So the people that I talked to thought that was a really interesting thing. And if anyone has Discord, not that you would sort of understand this guy, but because I believe he's probably talking in German, but he basically has a channel where he is on the channel, puffing away. And his thing is, never smoke alone. That if you want to talk to someone, he's there. I mean, very cool. Oh, this was the glass house again. Oh yeah. Yeah. Just more nice things. Some of these things I will keep. So there was like so many advertisements for like delivery services. Now, some of them were through a pharmacy for medical cannabis, and some of them I believe were, the legacy. So there were tons and tons and tons of seed companies. I'm not sure what this home box cup is all about, but it's purple. And there you go. They're selling cannabis at 15 euros gram. So about 23 euros, or sorry, $23 a gram Canadian for 1 gram. So anybody who complains about, legal cannabis and being able to have a plethora of cannabis in Canada, needs to wash their mouth out with soap. Right? Of course, there was lots of Canaware there. Puffco was there. Now, this company here, Bloomwell, this is one of the huge, huge, huge pharmacies. I believe that is, so they have their own app, and if you order, you get a Puffco. And apparently, the latest product that literally just came in last week is hash. Within the medical pharmaceutical system here. So we tried to buy some yesterday, but it's already been totally sold out. And so the pharmacist is going to see what she can do for Jeremiah. And okay, so there's all sorts of cannabis products for sale there. Are they real THC or are they some kind of processed version? So I heard the word THCA, I don't know how many times this weekend. In the shop in Dusseldorf, I heard THCZ. AZ. So, a lot of the products that were being touted as THC. You know, once I spoke to the person, it was not THC. And I met these 3 people near the end of the last day. And they were like, so, yeah, how's it going? Da, 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 and all this stuff. And I'm like, yeah, I'm from Canada, and I'm telling people, you know, this and that. And I said, I've been, you know, there was one place that said they had THC, and then they, you know, were explaining that they, you know, they added THCA or whatever. And I was like, I'm sorry, that's not that's not cannabis, right? And the young kids were like, you said that to them? And I'm like, damn right, I fucking said that to them. It's not fucking cannabis that they added THCA. Of course, Jeremiah, of course you can walk by. There's Jeremiah, kids. He needs a hit on his bong. Needs a bong hit. Well, you do need a fucking bong hit, don't you? Yeah, definitely. So, you know, and I will say, children, Jeremiah has been trying his damnedest to teach me so much about cannabis, children. You won't even believe what I know about now. That I'm going to come back and people are going to go, what the hell happened to you, Janine? Well, who taught you this? How do you know about this? And I'm going to be, because my scientist told me. My professional German scientist told me this. And I was walking around this canna fair going, you know, kids, Canadians grow cannabis, okay? Germans grow cannabis. And go away if you need to. Do you need to do more? You're okay? Anyways, what I mean by that is Germans are fucking serious about cannabis growing, okay? There's no fucking dilly-dallying or whatever, okay? Okay? The amount of fucking money they spent on the seeds, the amount the water and the electricity is costing them, everything is costing them, better fucking work and they better get fucking good cannabis. Because if that growth fucks up, they got nothing. Or they have to buy expensive, okay? And
Or cheap from the pharmacy.
oh, or cheap Canadian cannabis from the pharmacy. Okay, so kids, there's $2 or $3 euro cannabis in the pharmacies here now in Germany. And it's the old Canadian cannabis that we've decided was too old to sell in the medical system. So we send it over to the German medical system. And because it's really cheap, they've happily accepted it. I'm not sure what to say, Jeremiah, but you kids fucking accepted it. So, and again, what have I always said? All cannabis can be sold. It's just the fucking price point. Okay? Just the price point. So, yeah, so it's pretty wild here that there's now, you know, €2 and €3 cannabis when you first bought it. Yeah, of course, Jeremiah.
No, give me that.
Yes. I want to say it was like 15, 18 euros when you first bought it.
It was 24.
24 euros for 1 gram when he first got his prescription when you were one of the first, literally one of the first
And I
1,000 people of getting prescription.
first thing it's right there behind that glass. Or in it white thing.
Oh.
It's not. There's a yellow. One with a yellow lid. But now it's color inside. This was my first.
You're right. You're right. Okay, so this was his first Vedrican cannabis so this would have been Netherlands.
Yeah, imported from the Netherlands.
Yeah, so this would have come from the Netherlands. Vedrican. Wow.
It's Jake Harrow.
It was Jack Hare. Wow. There you, yeah, yeah. And I don't know if you kids know this, but when this container comes into Germany, the pharmacy spot checks all the cannabis and they run the cannabis under a microscope and they make sure it's fucking cannabis and it's not fucking contaminated and it doesn't have. Jeremiah, I was going to say, what's the name of the little seeds thing
Micro seeds.
Okay, so there's a problem with micro seeds now. Everywhere that the cannabis plants in the world have been contaminated by these microseeds. And yeah, it's a problem. I'll talk to you more about that probably next week because Jeremiah sent me some information on that. We'll go into a little bit of depth on that. But yeah, no. So yeah, can you imagine 24? Now the exchange rate wasn't as bad, but you know, you're looking at like $32 Canadian for 1 gram of cannabis. Okay, that's what the medical system was here when they started. That's insanity. Yeah, the only people that are going to be paying those prices are people who are, you know, really, really, really need it. So, as it is, a look at that more cannabis pickup. They had a community lounge with DJ. Oh, this was cool. Okay, you imagine I come to this booth and literally it's completely fucking purple. Okay, now I'm not sure if you can read this, okay, but basically it's unlock the power, you know, a portable and accurate distillate testing. So this is testing for concentrates. And to, give you, yeah, so it's a THC testing device. And I guess it measures THC, CBD, moisture, and more. Pairs with a phone via Bluetooth, instant results. Saves time and money. Yeah, so that was something I saw that was very, very cool. There were so many seed companies. I got a decent amount of seeds. Though Jeremiah says, the majority of the seeds aren't going to pop. Though I mean, maybe I'll need to talk to a few people when I come back home. I was lucky enough to, I guess, get some land race cannabis strains. I got like 4 seeds of one strain. So maybe there'll be somebody special who gets a seed or 2 of that. And there was a contest I couldn't enter because it would have, I'm not European, because it would have been cool. The first prize was like a trip to Amsterdam. First prize was a trip to Amsterdam. And then, of course, there were, the bug people making sure you're, not having problems with stuff. And yeah, there was just so much paperwork on the amount of seed catalogs I have that I collected this year. Was amazing. What else do? Oh, and then here is basically how big the cat affair was. So it was. I don't know. Hold this up. It was pretty big, kids. There was the outdoor area over there. That was the lounge, the business lounge where I got to go. And then there was like a huge building with booths. And then outside there was all these food trucks. And on the other way, food trucks. And then there was another building. And that was the building. Oh, kids, you could have bought mushrooms there. So not like the box, like the mushroom box to be able to make your own mushrooms. So there was a lot of illegal things going on, okay? And I basically point blank was asking these kids, like, so what's the legality of this? And how are you doing it? And they'd be like, oh, it's illegal. And we're just doing it. And I'd be like, you know what? You know what you sound like? You sound like a Canadian. You don't sound like a German right now. You sound like you're Canadian. That's a Canadian way of looking at things. And they'd be just like, wow, really? I'd be, yeah. No, we don't follow stupid rules. Okay? Canadians do follow rules, smart rules, safe rules, common sense rules. We do all those, but Canadians don't do stupid rules. We break those stupid rules all the time because we're Canadian and we're adults and we can do that because it's not the end of the world, right? I mean, literally nobody would go, oh, you know, I could drink 10 drinks and get in a car and drive. I want to break that rule. No, that's a good rule. You know what I mean? Like, we really, us Canadians, we're sort of the common sense country, right? So, it's crazy to come here to Germany where literally they fucking follow the fucking rules. Doesn't matter how cuckoo or how crazy it is, they fucking follow the rules. Now, did I get some papers, kids? Yeah, we got a few papers. We're bringing a few papers home. We are. We'll see how many make it home. But we got some papers. And of course, I got stickers galore. I don't want to necessarily go through all the stickers with you, but I will show you that I did for my recaps in the car on the way home on Sunday night. I got to write um, 4 pages worth. So just four, 1, 2, 3, 4. No, so not like front and back, 4 pages. And then on the other page, I put cannabis stickers. So now my journal for this can affair time is like really, really stickered up and is like, like the big thing of the trip. So there we go. We got a beautiful, nice sticker from the Bulldog. They were nice enough to give me a couple of stickers when I was showing this young American stupid kid. Like, I mean, he was not a stupid person. He had a decent job. He was university educated, but he was sort of stupid about Europe and Amsterdam and things like that, right? He hadn't really, I guess, done enough planning about, what he would expect and see and what was really available for him in Amsterdam. Because, usually when you're a cannabis person and you're coming to Amsterdam, you sort of really try and see what the fuck is going on before you get there. Really, really do. Oh, have we gotten some interesting products? Yeah, we have. What were they selling at some of the interesting? So this was sort of very, very cool. And so there's these CBD sticks. Huh? CBD. And they're not for a joint. They're actually for a cigarette. Okay, so you take the charcoal filter, the real filter, So you would take the cigarette like this, and you would jimmy, you'd go like this and jimmy and slowly get the filter out. And then you'd put a paper filter in to replace the cotton filter. Okay. And so then you take this and you shove it in the middle of the cigarette. And then you smoke your cigarette like normal, and you can get the CBD in a cigarette. And I just thought, like, that was fucking unbelievably wild. That if somebody was in pain, or they just needed a little something to help calm them down a little bit, that conceivably they could stick that in a cigarette and be standing there on the street and not be advertising themselves in a massive manner that they were, using a cannabis product. Okay. You cannot be a cannabis person in Austria. And so now I understand why when I went to that UN thing 3 years ago, why every single person looked at me weird when I, lit joints up on the street of Vienna. I now understand cannabis is not accepted really in Austria. Now in Czechoslovakia and Prague, no problem. Apparently Prague, I can go. Prague is a place I could visit if I want. And I would be able to find things there that I would want. They would be available there. So it was just so interesting. I still have, stuff I want to write in my book. I can't even tell you how amazing this was. And like I said in my post, and Jeremiah was telling me that this is considered one of the best cannabis events really in the world, because it's not too big. It's in an area where there really are cannabis users. That there's enough, it wasn't all seeds. It wasn't all lights. In fact, there were a few companies that weren't even THC cannabis related. Like there were people selling, really good drinks, and there were a few little booths here and there that were not, cannabis, but they were products that maybe cannabis peoples would like. So I got 2 towels. I got a pink Giza towel, which I really want to try and get home. I might need to make a little shipment. We'll see. And then this big, huge green towel from the Jeremiah's pharmacy from the party we went to. The secret, the secret after Sesh party, and that's like helping be a yoga mat in my room. And I told Jeremiah, I'm leaving you the towel, and he's like, really? And I'm like, come on, Jeremiah, I got towels at home. And I don't really need it. Not like it's got a cat. It just has the name of the pharmacy on it. So I don't really need the towel. Okay, but the Giza one I want. Okay, I want to bring the Giza one back. And it's funny because after he saw I got it, I had to actually pay for it. It was €5, but they threw in like so many papers that it was like totally reasonable. Okay, €5 was fine. So he wants to write the company and ask them if they'll just send him one, and they probably will, because Jeremiah says, is someone who actually will go on Instagram or TikTok or all those things and talk about these companies and promote them. And stuff like that. So you should have heard him today on the phone to UPS. His package was supposed to be here today, and they said that they tried him at 10 in the morning or something, and he wasn't home. And of course, we were all home. And Jeremiah looks at the video, and there's no UPS truck. So he basically calls UPS, and he's like, I have video of you not being here and lying. And I want you to write on this that you lied to me. And then maybe I should be using DHL instead from now on. And in fact, if this package doesn't get here today, I want you to return it to the sender and we'll use DHL. So then the woman tells him, oh, I'll have the driver contact you or something. So we're sitting upstairs while Doreen's making lunch or whatever, and all of a sudden, ding dong, oh yeah, the package made it. The package made it. Anyways, kids, I should probably say, or should I, is there anything else in here I could briefly show you? You kids know Bovita's changing to Vivi, right? That there's going to be no more Bovita, and it's going to be Vivi. And is there anything in here? Oh, just I guess my package of cannabis that Jeremiah says has that problem with seeds, and he took some of it to put it under a microscope and take pictures of it, and he knows these people, and he's gonna contact them and ream them up the ass. And say that they charged me too much money for this, and they better rectify it somehow. So yeah, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Anyways, kids, I'll say goodbye. We'll say goodbye until next week. Auf Wiedersehen. And buona notte. Good night.
Thank you.